Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing episode number 23 of I Build Your Teams, series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team in limited and or competitive play. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 20,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Trying to hit that by the end of the month of February. Obviously, February is a shorter than normal month, so we got to average about 60 subscribers a day for the rest of the month to hit that mark, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with the first team today, which comes in from my boy Owen. He says he's working on getting Tyson to take one of his power forward spots. I actually do agree with the top comment from Gray, who says buy Oscar. I think that's right. I think that's your biggest upgrade right now is your point guard position. The rest of your team is unbelievably good, especially once you get Tyson Chandler, but even without him, the rest of your team is great. I would upgrade the point guard position. I think Oscar Robertson would be a big upgrade, and you have 2 million MT. You can buy him and still have over 2 million MT. I don't see why you wouldn't, to be completely honest. He is, in my opinion, the best point guard in the game, and I think he is really also at the only position where you can use significant upgrades right now. So this is an elite level squad for sure, starting off with a little bit of a flex team, but the rest of these teams aren't quite as insane. Still not bad teams, but coming in from D-Mac, says he has 300k MT, thinking about picking up Kawhi, deal of the day because one of us your favorite players. Well, by the time you see this video, Kawhi will not be the deal of the day anymore, so I hope you picked him up. If he's one of your favorite players, I always encourage that if it is one of your favorite players, like I said. But I don't actually know. He's not that discounted, actually. The deal of the day is only like 35k discounted off MT today, so I don't know. Regardless, Korver and English isn't a bad shooting guard duo, but it's not incredible. I actually like Peyton Watson better than both of them. I would play Peyton Watson and Alex English. Me personally, those would be my two shooting guards. I wouldn't even play Korver. Your point guard position needs upgrades. Your small forward position is Boncaro, Hendricks, and OG, and that's not bad. Power forwards, you have Giannis and Chet, and then you have Embiid and D-Rob at center. I would swap Embiid and D-Rob because I think having the better release with D-Rob next to Giannis and then the worst release with Embiid next to Chet is probably a better idea. So that's a swap that I would make. But outside of that, your power forwards and centers are fine. Your small forward position even is fine. Your shooting guard position even is fine with Peyton Watson and Alex English. Your point guard position needs some work. If you got 300k MT, Anthony Black is fine as your backup. I would go get Dante DiVincenzo for sure. And if you want to buy 2 point guards, you could get Dante DiVincenzo, and you could go with a Devin Booker. If you want an offensive point guard, you could go with a maybe somebody like an Amin Thompson if you want more of an elite level slashing defensive point guard. Either way, I think Dante DiVincenzo is a must buy, and then if you want to buy another point guard, you could. Peyton Watson needs to be your starting shooting guard though, and I would also swap D-Rob and Embiid. The rest of your team, I actually kind of like it. Like I said, I would take Korver out as well, but definitely get a point guard. Dante DiVincenzo for the value is probably the best guy for you. You could always go pick up a huge upgrade if you want, like an Oscar Robertson or somebody expensive like that, but I don't know if it's worth spending that much MT, especially when you're kind of limited on the MT you have. Next squad is from JB10, says he has Korver and Thurl finished. Booker, Artest, and Strawther are sellable as 270k. Thanks for supporting. Appreciate this. And okay, team right here. Well, first and foremost, swap Peyton Watson in for Julian Strawther. Just sell Strawther, swap Watson, and you'll be just fine. You can put Artest off the bench. Oh, Artest is sellable too, actually. Hold on. Let me think about this, because Korver I don't think plays. I'm sorry, I know you just finished the Korver grind. I don't think he plays. I think Jonathan Isaac definitely plays for your... Okay, let's work this out. You have Devin Booker, and I like Devin Booker. Yeah, I think D-Book can start, especially if you do things properly with your bench and stuff. Peyton Watson is the best shooting guard that you can use, personally, unless you want to buy like one of the 200k plus shooting guards. You need a new backup point guard. That's a must. Like, I just don't think Luke is going to cut it. I'll go Dante DiVincenzo there. That's your biggest, like, buyable upgrade. Honestly, I would sell Artest. Well, hold on. Let's put Strawther at the 2 for this team. Backup 2 for now. And then we have Jonathan Isaac at the 3. We have Thurl at the 4, and you had Wemby and Embiid, so you have 2 5s right there. So you could do that, and then you have Embiid. You also have the rest of these grindable cards. You have Paulo, who can come off the bench. You know what is an interesting idea here? Would be to slide Paulo to the 4 and do something like this with Ron Artest. Because as much as Jermaine O'Neal's not a bad card, I almost think, well, if you want to save, actually, because you don't have a ton of MT, you don't have the disposable MT, sell Artest. honestly, sell our test. I think that's what you do. And I think you run this 10-man right here. With the team that you already have, you're basically just rearranging the cards you already have, buying Peyton Watson and selling our test, and then you're buying Dante DiVincenzo. So you're buying Dante DiVincenzo and Peyton Watson, and you're selling our test. You're going to come out losing a little bit of MT, but not an incredible amount, maybe 50K. You'll still have over 200,000 MT. And this 10-man lineup right here, to me, feels a lot better than this one. That's just my opinion. Hopefully that does help out. You could even, if you wanted to save even more MT, just run CJ McCollum as your backup point guard here and not buy Dante DiVincenzo, and you'll actually make MT. You'll be over 300K if you do this. This is also an option. So there's a couple different options. Hopefully that one helps you out. That's a great team upgrade right there. Amir Ballard, has over about 200K. Can sell KD, Kawhi, or Nick Young if he has to. You need point guards. I don't like Iggy. Thurl, Embiid, Hibbert, Chet. This is a weird team. Okay, I don't like the way that you have it organized right now. I think you start Thurl at the 4, Embiid at the 5, and then you can have Chet and Hibbert off the bench. That feels like it fits better in terms of having like your not good release with a better release, more versatile guy at the power forward position. Something like this makes more sense to me. Outside of that, looking at the rest of this team, some of these guys are fine. Some of these guys I don't love. KD is really expensive. You only have 200K. Again, Peyton Watson for the 9 millionth time is still a great upgrade. I think he is a very, very good card. Kawhi, you said, is sellable, but I almost think if you could have Kawhi there and then Kevin Durant there, then you don't even have to sell either of those guys. And Nick Young is a good scorer, which is very useful. You need a point guard. Dante DiVincenzo is a starting point guard for cheap. Anthony Black is even cheaper, and he's a good backup point guard. I think both of those guys are probably upgrading your point. Well, you have D'Angelo Russell. He's better than Anthony Black, probably. That D'Lo is actually good, and you already have him. You don't need to spend the MT since you already have that card. I think he's good. I think he's better than DeJounte. So, to me, that's how I would do this with your point guard position. This right now I've only spent MT on Peyton Watson and Dante DiVincenzo. Which means you still have like a lot of MT to work with. You could sell Nick Young, and then that means you've probably spent a total of about 8. You'll still have 120K-ish for your backup shooting guard. You could buy somebody expensive if you want, but honestly, again, budget card. The shooting guard position is such an easy budget card position right now. Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, you're fine. Honestly, just go do this. I think this will work better for the team that you have right now. This 10-man lineup is a lot better, again, than this 10-man lineup is, and you're only spending, you'll still be over 100K MT making these changes. So I think you'll be just fine. You could always sell a KD or a Kawhi and downgrade those guys to budget cards as well to save even more MT if you want to. But this team will help you out a lot. Second to last squad today is Brendan. He's 100K MT, level 38. Should he go for Magic? Yeah, he might as well, but I don't know if Magic actually plays for your team because you have Amin and Drew. Clyde and Paul George are like, I actually like Clyde, even though he doesn't have Limitless. Paul George at this point is a bit outdated, the Diamond. Definitely get Peyton Watson, though. I know I keep recommending him, but there's a reason. He's your starting shooting guard in this team, and then Clyde can come off the bench, and he'll be just fine off the bench. You got to replace Kuzma as well. The rest of the team is good. How do we go about replacing Kuzma the easiest route? I honestly think, well, let's think. Because if you sell, say you sell Paul George, and you sell... well, you can't really probably sell Kuzma because I'm assuming that's the unsellable one. So you sell Paul George and you get a little bit more MT and you could buy another small forward, but there's nobody like really great to buy unless you, I guess Jonathan Isaac for 150K. Jonathan Isaac would be a nice upgrade. If you could afford him at power forward or a small forward, I think he'd be nice. Otherwise, for the time being, I think a guy like Taylor Hendricks is just better than Kyle Kuzma for cheap. Maybe you just go buy him and then you just buy Peyton Watson, Taylor Hendricks. Those guys can play at your 2 and then your backup 3. You could start Carmelo at the 3. I think Carmelo should be starting anyway. And then you spring Clyde off the bench next to Hendricks and Drew, and then you have Amin and Peyton Watson and Carmelo starting, and your 4 through 5 is fine right now. So I like that. Couple of different budget upgrades there. Not going to spend a ton of MT. Give you a couple small upgrades. Last team today. Spen says he's no money spent with 4.2 million MT. If you are no money spent with 4.2 million MT, you just got it, bro. Your grind is ridiculous. Credit to you. He says he wants to get Chris Dess, but he's waiting for Yao. Maybe Chinese New Year packs on Friday. It's possible. This question, how are you no money spent with this much MT? That's insane. Regardless, your team is really good besides Luka and Kyle Korver, basically, I would say. And honestly, I think it's pretty easy to make a couple of changes to actually upgrade the team even more. First of all, point guard, just go get Oscar Robertson. And second of all, center, you can get KP, bring Wemby off the bench, have Chet / Embiid / Kwame as your power forward options, whichever two of those three guys you like. Feel free to run them at power forward. And then you have KP and Wemby as your centers, and you have Oscar Robertson and Dante DiVincenzo as your point guards. I understand you want to wait. You have 4.2 million MT. You can buy both of those players, and you still have 3.7 million MT. You will be fine, I promise. And then you can run Peyton Watson over Kyle Korver because he's better than Kyle Korver, and that's only 21k MT, and that doesn't spend a ton of MT. So those three guys would be the guys I'd buy: Oscar Robertson, Peyton Watson, and Kristaps Porzingis to make some upgrades at point guard, shooting guard, and center. And then I think your team is going to be, I mean, it's already obviously insane, and you have ridiculous amounts of MT, so you can get anything that really is necessary, but a couple changes to me would be nice. With that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.